you are a migrant in the UK, whether you came on a skilled worker visa or you're an international student, but you are working in the UK basically, I believe that you might learn one or two lessons from this video. I used to be very ignorant of what I'm about to share with you guys in this video, but I know better. And that is why I decided to film this video for the benefit of those that are not aware of certain things when it comes to working in the UK. Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. I'm Intentional Favor. Please don't make it your last time. Subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notification bell. By doing that, you'll get notified whenever I upload new videos. And to all my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thanks for always coming back to watch my videos. This video is basically a story time. I want to share with you guys an experience I had here in the UK last year, few months after I started the current job I'm doing, which is the job that gave me visa sponsorship. In case you are new here, I used to be an international student here in the UK, and after my studies, by God's grace, I got a job that offered me visa sponsorship, and that's how I have remained or stayed back in the country. So I used to be naive, like I said earlier, and I had this ugly experience that would have, I don't know the repercussion, but I'm sure it must have had some adverse effect on me, okay? And I made that mistake, which I wouldn't want you to make in case you don't know. If I had known better, if someone had advised me earlier, I'm sure I wouldn't have found myself in such situation. I would have done better and, avoided whatever happened. But thankfully, it didn't end up in a very bad way. God graciously helped me, and I hope you learn one or two lessons by watching this video. I think I had this experience in July 2022. That was last year. This happened after I got the news of the death of my father-in-law. So my husband was to come, I think 2 weeks to my husband's coming to the UK. We already booked his flight. Of course, his visa was out and everything. Sadly, just about 2 weeks before he left, his dad passed on. His soul rest in peace. Amen. So, and of course, after that happened, of course, I got the news. It wasn't the best of news, as you can tell. It was a sad moment for us and all of that. For me, apart from the fact that, I lost my father-in-law, what that did to me is that it brought back memories of the loss of my mom. I lost my mom about a week after coming into the UK. I lost my mom, and the fact that my husband was just coming to the UK, planning to come to the UK, 2 weeks to come into the UK, he lost his dad. And me, I know that when I came into the UK a week or thereabout after coming to the UK, my mom was still passed on. It brought back those memories. I was really affected. Meanwhile, I just started a new job. I was just about 2 months into my new job and all of that. And this happened. Now, I didn't know how severe or how bad this affected me until what happened, which is what I'm about to share with you guys. So it happened on that fateful day. I don't know what day it was. Of course, it was a working week. Then I've not started driving in the UK. I used to take public transport to work. So and then I used to walk like about 10 minutes walk to the bus interchange. Then I'll enter one bus, and then it will stop me close to my workplace, and I'll just enter my workplace. That used to be my regular routine. Even coming back, the same, take one bus, then walk back home. So on this very day, of course, I entered the bus. Like I said, I was already affected by the news, and beyond the news, brought back memories of me losing my mom and all of that. So when I was in the bus, of course, a lot going on in my mind. My mental health wasn't at its best. I still carried on working anyway. So I was in the bus and got to from the interchange, the bus interchange that I entered, I had to alight at another interchange that is very close to my workplace. So I came down from the bus, and that morning I decided that I want to go and get breakfast from Greg's. So it was in the interchange. So when I came down, I just walked to go to Greg's. As I was entering Greg's, then the next thing I wanted to do was to bring out my phone. On my phone, I have Google Pay. I think they call it wallet now. I had Google Pay then that I used to pay. So I was not even after my purse. I don't think, then I don't go to work with my purse very often, because I just use my Google Pay to pay for whatever, okay, technology. So I wanted to bring out my phone to have it handy so that I can use it to pay for whatever I buy at Greg's. Then when I put my hand inside my jacket, That was when I realized that, oh my god, my phone wasn't there. I quickly brought out my backpack. Yeah, I just go to work with backpack, no handbag, and all of that. My work laptop and everything just goes in there, and everything. So I brought out my backpack and checked, and I didn't see my phone there. Also, my work phone, I didn't see my work phone. So basically, I misplaced two phones. It dawned on me. I remember that I left my house with those phones, okay, and I was holding them in my hand. I think probably then, I'm not sure why I had my work phone in my hand or whatever, or maybe I checked something on it in my bus, something like that. So basically, my work phone and my personal phone, both of them were gone. Then it dawned on me. Then I remember, oh, maybe I have left this in the bus. So I ran back and saw the bus going. Usually, that interchange, some buses will go round and take another side of the interchange to go. I thought that was the case. Guys, that day I ran like a madwoman. I was running, thinking to go and block that bus from the other end, thinking it will just turn around and come towards that way. Not knowing that this bus just goes straight and it just leaves. I didn't know that's how this particular bus operates. It's not among those that goes round. So my running like a mad woman was in vain. I'm serious. At some point, I got ashamed, like I was so embarrassed. I even had to take off my badge from my neck and I put it inside my backpack because, if you see it, you'll know that I'm working for the council or whatever. All right. So I was so devastated. What am I going to do? Then I went to the office in the interchange and explained to them that I've just forgotten my phone inside the bus that just left. How can I retrieve it? They just said that, well, maybe I can go. Okay, this bus was actually going to Doncaster. Let me please, it was an intercity bus, so it was leaving the city entirely and was going to another city. It's not even within the city, and Doncaster is very far away, of course, when you take it on the bus. So they said maybe I have to go to Doncaster, which is the final destination of that bus, to go and see if I'll see it in the bus or whatever and all of that. I was like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? Should I say, luckily for me, my other phone that I use for my videos, my vlogging phone, was somewhere down inside my bag. I don't use it except when I want to film. So I brought it out, and I had to call my manager first of all. I told my manager what happened and all of that. And also I had a meeting that morning with, of course, with one of the dads I was working with. Anyways, work or whatever happened that day, I don't know. But my manager insisted I come. Okay, before I called my manager, I think I called my manager. She didn't pick up. Okay, so what I decided to do was to track that bus. So the next bus, let's say that this bus is bus 20, for instance. So bus 20 has gone. The next bus 20 going to the same destination. What I did was to just go and enter it and know if by God's grace, we can catch up with that bus or just get there before it takes off for another journey. You get what I mean? And mind you, I had no money with me. Like I said, I wasn't with my purse. I was just hoping to do anything with my Google Pay. Yeah, that was it. And I don't have so the whatever the ticket I bought, the bus pass I bought was just for the city, not for intercity. So there was no way that ticket could take me to Doncaster because it's another city. And I had no money with me. Thankfully, I entered. I just explained myself the best possible way to the driver. The driver was like, but just say, okay, enter. Maybe he saw how devastated I was. And I entered the bus. So I hopped into the bus, praying and hoping that, that will happen. And I was in the bus and we left already. On my way, my manager probably saw the missed call and called me back. I explained myself what happened. Why I called my manager earlier, of course, was because I also lost my work phone. I needed to know, because I don't have the number of IT and all of that, if she could call them and tell them to maybe disable the phone or something. Luckily for me, her number was on that other phone because maybe I saved it on Gmail. Okay. So when she called me back, I was already in the other bus heading to Doncaster. When she called me, I explained what happened. I also informed her that I actually have a meeting that morning. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Probably I gave her the case number and the details if she could just help me or assign someone in the team to call that dad and cancel the meeting because I won't be available. Sadly or unfortunately, my manager insisted that I get back to work and have that meeting. She didn't allow me to go to Doncaster to go and look for the phone. She said she will call IT so that they will do what they can do to the phone. It's work phone. Of course, it has some sensitive information. So, but she said I should just come back and have that meeting. She refused to cancel the meeting for me. No problem. And that was another thing. I had to stop at the next bus stop. I came down, cross the other road, waiting for another bus, going back to the interchange. Oh, that day was hell for me. So when I stood there, after some minutes, another bus came. When I entered, I had to explain myself again that I had no money. Look what happened to me. Luckily, the driver let me in. I entered and I went back to the interchange. Mind you, in all of this, a lot was going on in my mind, and I was more worried about my work phone. If it were to be just my personal phone, no problem. But that work phone, one is a brand new phone. They just gave me that phone about a month ago, as when it happened. It's a brand new phone, Samsung Galaxy. It's not a small phone. I don't know the implications. Maybe they will take it out from my salary, and so many things. And I just started this work. I don't know what that would say about me. I was really worried, coupled with what I was facing already, bereavement, right? So I got back to work. I had to go and attend the meeting. I kept calling the phone. By the way, I was calling the phone. There was no answer. Both phones, no one was answering those phones. I was really worried. And then I kept calling the service, First Boss. When I called them, they said maybe I should go online. They sent me a link to go and lodge a complaint or report a missing item or something like that. Then if they found it, this and that, I quickly did that and I was just hopeful. And mind you, that day was so busy for me. I had loads of meetings and visits that I have to do. The fact that I don't drive, I have to keep taking bus, which then was making my job more difficult. But the long and short story there is that eventually, at the end of the day, I just had to tell my manager some visits I have to cancel them to see if I can go and retrieve the phone. Okay, because when I called them later in the day, I kept calling down my phone. Someone finally picked up, and God being so kind and gracious, a good Samaritan saw the phone, okay, and then when they reached Doncaster at the interchange, this person took it to the bus service, like should I call it reception? But yeah, somewhere in the interchange where First Bus office is. When they reported it as a missing item and dropped it there. So the receptionist was the person that now answered the call when I called, and I explained what happened and everything. Then she told me when they close, I think they close by 6 o'clock or thereabout, that I should come by 6 o'clock or whatever time it was. I should make sure that I come before the end of that day to come and pick up the phone, that they will keep it for me. Oh, I was relieved. I remember that day going to a manager to just go and ask for cash so that I'll be able to pay for my transport to go to Doncaster. That was my first time ever going to Doncaster. Towards the end of working day, I think I now had to take permission. I told my manager that they said this about the phone and all of that. So I hopped into the bus and I started going to Doncaster. It was a long journey, I must say, a very long journey, and I was busy checking my time. What they told me is that if I don't come by the end of that day to pick up the phone, they would destroy the phone. Probably, for security reasons, in case it's a time bomb or whatever, it's a setup or whatever. They said because it's a phone, if by the end of the day, that working day, I don't pick it up, they will have to destroy the phones, both of them. I was like, oh my God. So I was there, I was checking time. I was so nervous because time was ticking and it was a very long journey, honestly. It was a very long journey to Doncaster. When we finally got there, I rushed and then I got to the office. I went there, they asked for my ID card, they asked me certain questions, password, pictures, and all of that, which I did, and they confirmed that the phone belonged to me. The lady even told me that I was even lucky that they were about closing, of course. I got there a few minutes before end of work for them, and she said that, like, she told me that this phone would have been destroyed. And that was how I was able to retrieve my phone and my work phone that day, and then I got back home, which was another long journey. Why did I decide to share this story, and what are the lessons to draw from it? The thing is that sometimes when I was naive, like I said, I was clueless. Then I was thinking that, I just started. I don't want to start calling him. I'm not even sick, kind of. But if you look at it technically, I was sick because mental health. What is definition of health by WHO? Complete state of physical, emotional, and mental well-being. So I wasn't healthy. I was kind of unwell. But I didn't know that I could just call in. I didn't even know that there is a bereavement support. Although it's my father-in-law, but this affected me. So I'm sure that it affected me, and if I had told my office, they could have given me few days off for me to mourn my bereaved and of course make sure that I'm in the best of health. I discovered that in this country it's better that you come to work whole and healthy and not halfway, because once you are at work, you are at work. Okay, there is no excuse or something. So I should have called them and explained to them that I'm bereaved, the emotions attached to it, my mom and all of that, and I was mentally down. You can see I'm unwell because that really, really affected me. I'm sharing this to let you know that if you're in this country, if you are unwell, please call in sick, especially if you are doing a full-time job, okay? Even if you're not doing a full-time job, for your own good, because you never can tell what will happen. If anything had happened, let's say there was a breach of confidentiality or data breach because of that phone I lost, my company, my workplace, they will pay a lot for it, and it will cost them a lot, and it will also affect me as well. So sometimes the cost of it is so much that you don't even want to risk it. If you are unwell, call in sick. Good for you, for instance, if you are doing a full-time job, you are entitled to sick leave. I never knew this. Even when I was pregnant, I think I have shared this. I never knew that I was entitled to sick leave. I could call in sick and take care of myself. I was dragging my feet and forcing myself to go to work, even though I know that I was not well, because during my first trimester, oh my gosh, I really had a difficult time during my first trimester. I was carrying it to work. If you are not healthy, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, if you are not unwell, please just call in sick. It's as simple as that. Call in sick. Okay, if you are bereaved, okay, even if it's anybody, but that bereavement affected you, please let them know. They will give you a break. And if you are working full time, it won't affect your salary, because that might be another worry you have. But for me, when I was pregnant during my first trimester, we were trying to pay for the debt we collected from people to pay up for our car. So I know we needed that money, and I thought maybe if I go on sick leave now, they'll reduce my salary. When you are owing someone, and I like keeping to my words, you already told them we'll pay you by this time, and salary has already been calculated. This is what you will use it for. So I didn't want anything to cut it short, because I don't want to go back and apologize, and I don't like owing anybody or not keeping to my words when I collect money from someone. So that affected me, and I was carrying myself to work, and eventually it backfired on me. Yes, maybe a story for another day. Okay, so this was my experience. If I had called them and told them that I lost my father-in-law and how this brought back memories of the demise of my mom and all of that, believe me, they would have given me a break, bereavement, whatever they call it. I'm entitled to that. They would have given it to me. And I wouldn't have found myself in this situation that I found myself, that I just shared with you guys. So this is just me telling you, if you're working in this country, please take care of yourself. I know sometimes as Africans, we tend to think about so many things. You don't know how they will perceive you. No, 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 no. For your own good. For your own good. So maybe if I share my other experience when I was pregnant, how it backfired and what happened to me, you will know why you need to be, if I should say, selfish. Think about yourself and not think about what anybody will say about you at workplace, because people will always have something to say, no matter how nice you are to them. No matter how nice, they will always have something to say. So please, I don't know how to beg you or how to explain this. I don't know if you understand what it is, because that would have a lot would have happened. Probably the so-called salary, maybe because they will start taking part of it to pay for the phone that I lost. Like I said, it was a brand new phone in a brand new casing. They gave it to me, Samsung Galaxy. That's my work phone. I don't know the repercussion, how they would have handled that, because I lost the phone and all of that. And for what, to what end? Something that would have allowed me to take some days off and get back well. So if you are unwell, not necessarily physically, if anything is happening to you, please call your workplace, call in sick. Call in sick. Okay, just take few days off work and make sure that you are in the best frame of mind for you to work, so that you don't make anything, especially if you are working maybe in healthcare sector or whatever, and you're not feeling fine and something, maybe you now miss the medication of someone, or you now give somebody overdose. Oh my god forbid that that happens. Then if such a thing happen, nobody will be like, oh, she's unwell or something. That's why you need to take care of yourself by yourself. Nobody will do that for you. That was one hard lesson I learned later. And I hope I've been able to pass across the message. Remember, you first. You first. You come first before that job. If anything happens to you, remember that job will continue. They won't take a whole day off because you are no longer there, or that something bad happened to you. Anyways, guys, that's where I bring this video to an end, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Yeah, like this video, comment, subscribe, and do all of those good stuff. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take good care of yourselves. Bye.